we started the whole company with about $5,030. I say $30 because that was sitting in my PayPal account. We threw that in too. So $5,000 is what we started the company with. And we kept things really lean. We did everything ourselves between the three co-founders, everything. And I think it was maybe about 18 months we were in business before we hired our first staff member.
18 months.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. And did you guys quit your jobs and get fully into it, or were you?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
You all did at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. So just the CTO. So he retained his job because he was playing a vital role at another company. So they needed a good sort of like 3 to 4 months to sort of replace him. So he worked there. He worked with them part time, and then both companies part time. For myself, I was fully focused on this company. So any of the blogs that I was running at the time that I was making money from, I sold to other people I knew in the industry, and like, oh, here's my fashion blog. If you want to, do you want to buy it? Yeah. And I think I really didn't sell them for much. I think it was like maybe $2,500 for one. And so for me, I'm just like, I just want to get rid of it and get a little bit of money out of it.
Yeah, brilliant. So how big is your team roughly now?
So we are now about 35 in Sydney, and we're 4 in Kuala Lumpur.
Okay, so obviously you came to Sydney because it's where most of the market was eventually.
That's right, exactly. So 90% of our clients are in Sydney. Yeah. So it just made sense for us to be here.
What were the biggest problems that you had as a business from getting to the 3 of you to then the 40 or whatever odd there are of you now? What were the biggest problems you had in that period? Well, if you can think of them.
I guess you have to learn to let go as well. In terms of the things that I controlled, I had to delegate.
Oh, you have to learn to delegate.
Exactly, exactly. Letting go of certain things and trusting people. That was hard the first time around. It's much easier now, because I've become more accustomed to it. But, something that was really important to me, either it be our image, our brand, our user experience, all those things that I eventually had to let go of and delegate to someone else, was hard at first. And I mean, I still have a lot of oversight when it comes to our user interface and stuff, because it's like, this is what made us who we are. It's really important to get right. So that was difficult, just the delegation at first. But then, learning to become a boss and be the boss you always wanted as well, that took some time, but it came quite naturally to us, because we always had a very flat sort of structure within the company where the CEO, CTO, COO, whoever they are in the executive level, we're all accessible. In fact, most of the time we're working amongst the rest of the team as well.
And do you have any advice for anyone that's worked in regards to working with business partners effectively or co-founders effectively?
I would definitely say as early as you can, get your organizational structure in place. So when we started, we're all equal and we're all co-founders. You cannot have 3 captains of the ship. No. You can only have the one. And so before we formalized our organizational structure, we were all equal. And so there's a lot of infighting and disagreements. And unless you can get a majority vote on something, it doesn't happen. And so therefore the company doesn't move. It's stuck where it is. So we had an external third party come in and sort of look at our skills as individuals as well, and say, well, what's David good at? What's Mario good at? What's Zane good at? And that was where this third party eventually presented to everyone, said Zane should be the CEO.
Oh, so you actually went and got a third party company to do that. That's a really clever way to do it, because there's no discrepancies.
That's right. And they are just looking purely on the merits of our skills that exist already, or potential for our skills. So you're not born a CEO. You have to learn on the job. But I had a desire to learn. Plus, I'm a bit controlling. So
you've done a bloody good job so far. So I'd say they made a good choice.
I like to think that my leadership has been okay.
Has it developed? Has it changed? Have you noticed?
Oh, massively. Well, even the guy who originally came in to do that evaluation, they'll go back 6 years ago, I'd say now. When he came in, I was a very different person to the person I am now. And so there were things I hated back then. Like, I hated spreadsheets and numbers. I couldn't stand them. They bored the hell out of me. But I learned to appreciate them a lot more and what they represent and what I can learn from them as well. It's like, oh yeah, yes, it's costing us more to acquire a client than what we're getting out of them. That's probably not good. So, learning those things was great. And then, I still catch up with him every now and again now, and he will still say, you are a very different person to the one I met 6 years ago. So I've learned, I've grown, but I've also aged in that time as well. So, knowledge and experience, just comes with it. It
just takes time, like all things, like a business being successful, like building the right team, like everything, becoming a better leader. It just takes time and it takes reflection. Did I do good? Did I do good? Did I do bad? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't. Right. I can
learning from your mistakes as well. I mean, and I've made a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, but the key thing is, as long as I learn from them.
As long as you learn, just don't make them again. That's my big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we always try to be present and provide good leadership, and that kept staff with us. So we have an extremely high retention rate on our staff. I think, in 9 years, we have maybe had 2 people resign.
No.
Yeah. So
are you serious?
That's right.
Why do you have such high retention? I mean, that's an enviable record.
Yeah. I mean, it is really high, thankfully. It's great because hiring is really unproductive, or it lowers productivity because you've got to hire the person, you've got to onboard them. So we look at it and say, well, if we spend more to keep them, that's good for us. So we do a lot of social stuff with our team, and we make our office environment, as fun as we can. We have things like arcade machines in our office, so they do like Mario Kart tournaments, and they organize that themselves and go for it. And then I also looked at costs that we were spending per year on, people's birthdays and all manner of little things that we were doing. So I actually looked at all that, and then I created a social committee with a couple of members of our team and said, here is your budget. You've got $18,000 a year, and that's your social committee budget. That'll go towards birthdays. So if you want to buy someone cake, or if you want to organize a group dinner or whatever it is that you want to do, you have got 18 grand. You can spend it all on one massive party, but then you've got nothing else for the year, or you learn to spread it out. So our guys, they get recognized, as often as we can. We do what's called our CF Superstar Awards. And
What's that?
So that's every month. It's a video that runs for the whole team because it's broadcast to all of our different teams around the place. And it looks like an Academy Awards video. It's got like, live from Sydney, and it's got all this stuff. And then, build up. And then suddenly someone's picture drops, with who's the winner for the month, So that's been voted by management as to who our superstar is and the reasons why they won. And then I think they also get like a $200 prepaid FPOS card or something like that.
It's like the person of the month.
Yeah, exactly. Employee of the month, but we make sure that we recognize, such people and we do need to make sure we recognize good work.